They say monsters look like beasts, but sometimes they look just like us. In the heart of Kigali, the capital of Rwanda, lived a man who blended in so well with his community. No one ever suspected the horror hidden beneath his home. He was polite, helpful, quiet, even friendly. But under the kitchen floor of his modest house, 14 decomposing bodies were buried, layer by layer, in silence. This is the chilling story of Denis Kazungu, a man with no criminal record, no history of violence, no visible signs that he was capable of murder, let alone serial murder. He ran a small shop selling motorcycle parts in a busy neighborhood. He greeted people with a smile. He helped customers with repairs. He lived his life like anyone else, or so it seemed. Before the bodies were discovered, Kazungu was considered just another quiet, hard-working man in Kigali. He had grown up in a rural area and moved to the city to find better opportunities. Eventually, he opened his shop and began to establish himself in the community. To his neighbors, he was respectful and reserved. No one had any reason to fear him. But behind that calm exterior, there was a much darker truth. Police would later describe Kazungu as cold, calculating, and emotionally detached. And what's perhaps most terrifying is that there were no clear warning signs. He didn't lash out in public. He didn't talk about violence. He simply hid everything behind a locked door and a forced smile. Authorities believe that Kazungu lured his victims, mostly young women, by offering them false promises of work, support, or housing. He targeted the vulnerable, those desperate for help. He would gain their trust, invite them into his home, and once inside, there was no way out. The door would lock, the house would fall silent, and then he would strike. Some victims were sexually assaulted, all were robbed, all were murdered. And each time, Kazungu carefully buried the body under the floor of his own kitchen. Over the course of several months, his house became a secret graveyard, built one murder at a time. Neighbors had begun to notice strange things, a constant flow of visitors who never returned, a foul smell that got worse by the week. Some even reported suspicions to the authorities, but no action was taken. That is until September 2023, when police finally entered the house after multiple complaints. What they found shook the entire country. Beneath newly poured cement, they discovered human remains, one after the other. In total, 14 bodies were unearthed, each buried with shocking care. The victims were in various stages of decomposition, most of them young women, some just teenagers. The entire nation of Rwanda was stunned. Even more disturbing, this wasn't Kazungu's first encounter with the law. He had actually been arrested the year before for similar suspicions, but was released due to a lack of evidence. That decision would cost at least 14 lives. During interrogation, Kazungu showed no remorse. He spoke about the killings with a disturbing calmness. No emotion, no regret, just facts. Psychologists who evaluated him believe he fits the profile of a textbook sociopath, a man who could manipulate and deceive with ease, hiding his true nature even from those closest to him. Experts say Denis Kazungu represents a terrifying category of killer, the kind who hides in plain sight. No violent history, no outward aggression, just a quiet man with a monstrous secret. He has since been sentenced to life in prison, but for the families of the victims, justice came too late, and for the people of Kigali, the scars left behind will never truly heal. So what do we learn from this case? Sometimes evil doesn't scream, it whispers, it smiles, it shops in the same markets and walks the same streets. Denis Kazungu didn't look like a killer, but beneath his floor, he built a graveyard. How many more like him are out there? If you found this story disturbing and important, help us spread it. Like the video, subscribe for more true crime stories from around the world, and tell us in the comments, do you think Denis Kazungu is Rwanda's worst serial killer? Or are there others who simply haven't been caught yet? Stay safe and remember, not all monsters hide in the dark. Some live right next door.